Ladies and gentlemen, you're catching us very casual tonight. I don't know about anybody else. I am, as my friend Cam from Flagrant Triggers would say, I am late and gay. This man, on the other hand, is never late and gay. He is appropriate in all situations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 election night preview stream. My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. This is my colleague, the inestimable Reuben Christopher Haynes. Say hello, Reuben.
Hello.
All right. And then, now that we have the formalities out of the way, oh, good Lord, this is just crazy beyond all imagination. We are out on YouTube. We're out on Rumble. We are out on Twitter. So if you happen to be stopping by, give a shout out, send the word out to some people. Let's see who all might or might not drop in. This is a very last minute impromptu stream, and I will freely tell everybody that up front. Do need to explain sort of what is the thinking behind all of this, and we'll get to that in just a moment as I'm hurriedly finishing setting up a few things real fast.
I'll let you know what my approach is for this night and the entire 2024 election season. Let's sit down, pull out the popcorn, and watch the shit show. That's basically it.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
You ain't wrong.
But it's gonna be fun.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let me start dropping the music, and I will explain to our audience, whoever all might be here, exactly what we are up to in all this. So, oh goodness, it is quite the night. So glad to see that people are stopping in. Oh, the numbers are starting. Oh, people are popping into the room. God bless you all, y'all out there. If you're out there, give us a shout either on YouTube, on Rumble, on Twitter. Let us know you are watching. As you might suspect, given my channel's amount of interest, I had sort of planned on covering election nights and various other events that have been going on. And Reuben and I were kind of kicking it around for a while about how we were going to do this. So we sort of figured, after some discussions, that tomorrow night might be a very good way to sort of work out the bugs as we roll into 2024. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not going to waste anybody's time here. We're not going to give you anything other than valuable information and opinion and everything else. So, but on the other hand, since I've never really done a live stream where I am covering election results, I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants here. That said, however, Reuben has his ideas about how to do this, which are all very valuable and good. I've got a few things in my grab bag of tricks over the years, and there are certain races around the country this year that are going to be very important to watch. So that said, that sort of sets up why I wanted to do this live stream tonight, if for no other reason than to kind of set the table for what happens tomorrow night. I mean, I'll let Reuben chime in with his comments about the whole thing. So, RCH, I'll let you take it from here.
Well, from my perspective, what 2023, or actually 2021, has taught me is to be indifferent, to understand, to be very pragmatic in everything. And now I'm taking this election as me being disengaged by, rooting for either side, because right now everything is suspect. So I'm looking at it from a very, open-minded point of view, why things are happening the way they are. And I want to bring a different perspective. And we've talked about this, where it's about looking at the data and seeing where it points to. And from my perspective, it's not about saying this is the wrong way, my way's better, or anything like that. It's about this is all wrong. We should do better ourselves, and here is a solution. So I'll come up with certain solutions I want to get done, because I still believe in the power of free speech, and everyone is still afraid of free speech. So I want to basically speak out and basically give a very pragmatic point of view on everything, because this is a very important election coming up. So that's what's in key.
Okay. I'm pulling up a few things as both of us are talking, and like I said, there are some very key races across the country that I think are going to be very interesting to watch tomorrow night. One of them is kind of close to home for where I am, and I'm just about to finish pulling up everything on it. And Ruben, I'll definitely want to get your take on this.
Hmm.
Um, the one race that's closest to me geographically is the Kentucky governor's race, which up until about, maybe 4 days ago, everybody had sort of written off and saying, hey, there's no chance here. The current governor, Bashir, who's a Democrat, is probably going to win re-election. The last time anybody had polling results on this thing, he had like a 15-point lead on Daniel Cameron, who's the current attorney general for the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Hmm.
And then, no way he's going to close the gap. Well, all of a sudden, a poll comes out from Emerson College, which, there's a handful of pollsters that I tend to rely on in these matters, and
Hmm.
they're very, very good at what they do. And Emerson came out with a poll on Friday, which absolutely shocked the living dog crap right out of everybody. Now that I've got some of myself put together here, I'll pull this up
Hmm.
and let everybody take a look at what I'm talking about. So, this is from Friday, November 3rd. Kentucky governor's race, Cameron versus Bashir. Now, keep in mind, um, Bashir had a 15-point lead the last time Emerson College ran this poll. On
Right.
Friday, Cameron's showing with like a 1 point lead.
Mm.
And I've got the information for the poll pulled up. They ran a poll of about 1,000. Let me make sure about the exact numbers on this. Hang on. Let me see the number of response. I think it's about 1,000.
Hmm.
Let me find it here real fast. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's 1,000 voters, likely voters. Margin of error is like plus or minus 3%. So
Hmm.
I mean, even though Cameron's showing a lead of 1 point, that's still margin of error. So anything could happen. Um, but yeah, the fact that if it were two different pollsters showing that big of a variance, I
Right.
would, I'd write it off and just say, this is crazy. This is not going to happen. But, the same pollster ran a poll a month ago, showed Cameron 15 points behind. Now, all of a sudden, with going into the weekend of the election, he's down 1 point, and inside the margin of error, it could go either way. You can see from the results here, there's like 4% undecided.
Right.
Now, another poll came out just today, is done by a group known as Data for Progress, which is a democratically aligned group, and it shows Bashir with a 2 point lead. But this poll has got a margin of error plus or minus 4%. So it doesn't matter whose poll you're looking at this point. Going into this week, going into tomorrow, this thing is tight as a tick.
Hmm.
So that sets up. Ruben, you got any thoughts on this one?
Well, I've always been interested about Kentucky politics because, again, my brother lives there, and when Mac Bevin was governor, I found that he was a Republican governor. It's mainly Democratic, so it is very interesting how things have shifted. What do they attribute the shift to?
Well, that's a good question because a lot of people have argued that the Trump voter in Kentucky is coming home to Cameron in a big way, and that's where, because I guess when um, Emerson ran that first poll about a month ago, the Trump voters weren't that engaged or they didn't know that much about Cameron, etc. So there's that factor. There's also outside groups that are spending money in Kentucky, um, particularly on the trans issue. Also, you've got Riley Gaines, who has come to some measure of fame
Oh,
due
okay,
to
okay,
opposing Leah Thomas on the
right.
whole transgender in women's athletics, which apparently Bashir supports. So you factor all that together, and all of a sudden, Kentucky voters, which tend to be very conservative regardless of party,
Right.
they're coming together, and it's making for one heck of a race.
Yeah,
going into the day.
that's the one thing that I did want to state regarding this election tomorrow, and the fact that we all know that politics is local. So again, the fact that these issues, the trans issues, the migrant issues that are going on, things that are going to hit you like right outside your door,
Yeah.
are going to influence these elections, because you never know what may happen. I am looking toward the fact of seeing any of the Chicago elections tomorrow. Just if there are any out here in blue states, that's the most important thing we have to look for. Blue states, when it comes to their referendums, their local issues, things that are on the ballot, that's going to be a bellwether. The you know put your put your finger to the wind, where the direction of everything's going. And if things collapse on those issues, or it's more of a more conservative America First stance, then the Democrats are going to lose it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I would be remiss if I didn't, say hello to a few people who have dropped in. We have our one of our favorite cheerleaders for this channel up in Connecticut. Good evening to you, ma'am. We've got Robert Lowry, as always. Welcome anytime he's here. We have from our international desk, if I may use that term, from the international desk, we have Welsh Republic Podcast. Hello, brother. How you doing? We also have Small Time Republic, who brings up a very important point about this Kentucky race that we hadn't really got into. No one knows about McConnell's long-term health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and one last hello to one of our favorite other
Oh
cheerleaders,
my.
who I swear I love. I love everybody who is supporting this little endeavor of a channel, but Leanne Payne is just one of my biggest cheerleaders. So God love you, woman. We're glad to have you here tonight, and thank you for everybody for sending out the shout outs all across the internet land, as I call it, all throughout internet land. The shout outs you gave on short notice. God love every last one of you. So, but yeah, going back to Small Time Republic's comment here, he's absolutely right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And it's a valid point. I mean, let's assume for a moment that Daniel Cameron wins tomorrow night.
Oh my.
Is that an automatic guarantee that McConnell would retire upon Cameron being sworn in? No. But it might give him the out he's looking for if he's thinking about leaving. I mean, the man's not in good health. He's over the age of 80.
Right.
Everybody saw what happened with Feinstein. I'm just saying.
Who would be the bombshell candidate? Like, if like who would you? I don't know if anybody knows, but if things were to pass, unfortunately, who would step up and be the Kentucky senator just by proclamation by the governor? I wonder.
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I know one name that's floated, but I doubt I don't know if he'd do it, and I don't know if Cameron would have the stones to put him in. Thomas Massey.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Now, like
that
I said,
would
some
be
people
a
may be
bombshell.
wishing and hoping and praying, as the lyrics of that old '60s song goes. But could you imagine him over in the U.S. Senate? The fit he would give the Republican leader, whoever it would be, succeeding.
But
McConnell.
you know what's going to happen? I just say 2024. One of the predictions. It's not. I'm not trying to be grim. I'm just trying to be like realistic here. They're going to be Feinstein, McConnell. People are going to start dying off.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? A lot of appointments are going to happen. Weird shit can happen all the time. So that things can really go really awry this coming election season.
Oh, absolutely. I saw a stat. I did a video, I don't know, it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the average age of average U.S. senator is in their early 70s. Now think about that for a minute. The average age of a United States senator currently is in their early 70s. I saw that stat and I went, "That's just insane."
But here's a very unique observation per se. Okay, Now let's look at Mitch McConnell. Let's look at whoever, one of these older guys, Feinstein. When did you yourself not know who Dianne Feinstein was?
When Dianne Feinstein, in my recollection, came on my political radar years ago in the late 1980s or the early 1990s, and then in 92 she was elected to the U.S. Senate. That was the quote year of the woman. It was her, Carol Moseley Braun, Barbara Boxer.
Well, should I remember her from the 60s? Jesus. And I was born in 68. Just kidding. In the sense that because the whole Harvey Milk incident, the whole her,
God, yeah.
yeah. But again, activism brings in radical change, and it's again, I'm very I'm going to say I'm not conspiratorial, but
Right.
things happen
And
to put people in to do certain things.
Indeed. So yeah, this governor's race in Kentucky tomorrow night. This is going to be interesting to watch. I mean, there's usually a handful of areas, and I kind of wish I had a map of a county-wide map of Kentucky pulled up. There are 3 prominent metropolitan areas. One of them is Lexington. The other is the state capital, Frankfort, and then there's Jefferson County, which is Louisville, which is right on the Indiana border.
Right.
And the last election that was held for governor in Kentucky was Matt Bevin against Bashir, which Bevin was the Republican incumbent who was absolutely just hated by his own party.
Why? Oh, I know why.
Well, he was a horse's ass. I mean, he had all the personality of a tree stump, among other things, and he just was a horse's ass, at least in the opinion of some people. Now, frankly, he was a pretty effective governor, but that race came down to a handful of votes. I want to say Bashir's margin of victory, and this is right off the top of my head, I want to say it was anywhere from 4,000 to 10,000 votes. It wasn't much.
Wow.
And it was Jefferson County that came in at the very last, and Jefferson is known for being Democrat leaning. Now, I'm not saying anything, but just saying. So yeah, that one's gonna be fun to watch tomorrow night. And I've got some ideas for how to pull up the results. I mean, there's 2 or 3 ways of getting them. We could either go straight to the New York Times website or Decision Desk, which I think I've still got my active account with Decision Desk.
Right.
Or we could just pull off the Secretary of State's website.
Yep.
So that will be fun to watch, and it'll be a close one. Now, that said, just up the road, and I want to pull up Robert's comment, Ohio has a very interesting ballot initiative. Issue 1 is on abortion. Issue 2 is... I didn't realize they had a weed legalization.
In where?
Ohio. Apparently they've got it on the ballot. Robert, am I reading that right? That
it's very legal there.
Weed legalization, how, I guess? Because like I said, I knew about the abortion initiative, but I didn't know about that they had a legalization of marijuana initiative on the ballot. So this is going to be another one to keep an eye on, because, the abortion issue post-Dobbs, is just, I've never seen, and Ruben, feel free to give me your take on this. I've never seen a political party like the Republicans. For recreational use. Ooh. Now for Ohio, that's pretty radical. Okay. That's different. But anyway, I've never seen a political party so badly mishandle the messaging on abortion post Roe or post Dobbs. I mean, everywhere you turn, and I get the why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pro-choice, pro-abortion force, however you want to define it, are just absolutely taking the pro-life movement, just kicking them around the schoolyard. Yeah. And I'm just going to be very curious to see if that trend continues with this one, or if somehow, or how that shakes out, because it depends. And I guess too, it also depends on the language of the initiative. So, because I mean, that stuff could get worded very weirdly.
Yeah.
But yeah, now on a little closer to home, as far as the channel is concerned, we are going to be keeping an eye on two city council races. Jess, you okay?
Yeah, fine. Hear noise. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Jessica Fensky out in District 4 in Arvada, Colorado, is running for city council, otherwise known to everybody on Twitter as Forest Mommy. I've sent her out the
Oh, yeah,
link.
yeah.
Yeah, I've sent her out the link, and she's got a live stream going tonight herself on Twitter at about 9 o'clock. So if we're done here, by all means, go raid her Twitter space. Give her some love, give her some support because she's going to need it going into tomorrow. And also, we're keeping an eye on District 5 up in New York City, Elizabeth Galusho, who I've interviewed on this channel. The boys from the Dangerous Rhetoric podcast have interviewed her. Peter Feliciano has interviewed her. Both of these women are just absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really going to be curious to see how they perform. They're both running for the very first time for their respective offices. They're running their very first campaigns. And this is local activism. I mean, people on the right side of the spectrum talk all the time about wanting to be involved, be more locally involved. So this is going to be fun to watch. How I'm going to pull? Well, we'll figure out a way. We'll figure out a way to pull in results from those races. But we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on those. So, Ruben, let me ask you: are there any races around the country, either statewide or locally, that you're keeping an eye on?
Essentially, no, and that's what, but that's a good thing because I want to tomorrow. I want to go with a very open mind because, again, classically, I'm a presidential election person. I'm not a state person because, again, I don't really care about local stuff. I'm not really local. I care about the grand theater of politics in a sense.
Okay.
I observe. So I'm just want to take this approach of what do I want? What do I want? It's not a political slogan that I want America to be great again, especially now. If you look at basically, remember what Ronald Reagan said: "Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?" It's the most simple explanation. It's not. There's no political ideology in that statement. Are you better off than where you were?
Yep.
Mean tweets or this shit show? Point blank. So then that's where I'm going to come from. So again, I was very disheartened with 2022. I really thought there'd be a red wave.
I agree with you.
And the fact that it wasn't means that people are not talking to each other. They are only listening to themselves and those around them. It's the equivalent of getting a participation trophy. They showed up, they won. They showed up, they won, and then or basically think about it this way: if you have a child and and then you have one parent that says yes and one parent says no, the parent that says yes all the time is gonna manipulate the situation all the time, and then the kid's gonna believe that everything that that adult says, and the one that says no and is just doing it out of genuine love is gonna be treated like crap. We are all being treated like crap. Those are basically saying we cannot do these things anymore. So that's why every ballot initiative tomorrow that that's coming up right now nationally or even on state level, we have to look at it because it's very critical. The things that they're doing, just like what they did in Canada, where they had the initiative to allow assisted suicide. Why are they doing this? What's the background? What's the real nature of these things that they're doing these things? That's what we have to understand. So those initiatives are important. With the Ohio recreational, here is the thing. I'm very pragmatic when it comes to drugs and stuff like that. If someone wants to do something, do it. I don't care. Do it. But if you cause a problem, then you're prosecuted. Just like alcohol. If you're in your home and you get yourself batshit drunk, fine. I don't care. Get behind a car and do something, then that's a problem. That's where I draw the line. You can do whatever you want with your body. I don't care. And then, when it comes to the recreational, like everything, it's moderation. You have a choice. You have a choice to spend your money on McDonald's or buy or make a good meal. You have a choice to buy the newest iPhone, or invest it in your future. You have a choice to do anything in your life. And people are choosing the quick way, the satisfaction way. And that's the whole idea. It's not drugs that are a problem. It's the fact that we're told we can do anything we want anytime. And we can't. That's not reality. I'm it. Right now, you are all seeing me at my worst. Before, I had a Mercedes, I had houses, I had everything, and I lost it all because I'm not a W-2 employee. I work for my own business because I knew that this whole thing was a scam, and this thing happened to me. But I'm still fighting back because I believe in the American spirit, and everyone out there is the American spirit. So that's why I want to see every policy thing that's going to happen and predict, and I want to enjoy, which I do like watching political theater, but I'm going to take it from a very pragmatic point of view of what are we marching toward, our own demise or our redemption. And I hope it's our redemption because that's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is going to be a very interesting election. And not this is almost like how do I want to describe this? It's almost like the appetizer to the dinner.
True, but I'm laughing because I'm considering myself a baby Thanos in the sense, what does that mean? I'm basically going to stand up and snap my fingers, and everything within my wake is going to change. It's not I'm going to change the universe. I'm not going to get rid of everything, but all the negative thoughts around me. So basically, I'm going to snap my fingers, and negativity is going to go away from my mind and the things around me. So that's basically it, because you have to do that now. And again, we have to use their language on ourselves. Why does wokeism trigger us? And we know why. So then we have to live that life. If we don't no don't it's no we don't it's not a question of now complaining that we have like we can't have women and men do in the bathroom together the same thing doing this. We can't have all this stuff because it's unfair. What is the solution? The solution is the be all end all is to have more kids and teach them the right way. That's basically it. So we have to just basically shut up and start doing our part for American society when it comes to all of these issues.
Absolutely.
Because again,
That's
a difference.
why.
They talk. They're all talk again. They're all talk. I basically, I'm sorry, Brian.
No, go ahead.
But think about it this way. We have to approach this now of what do you want? What is the issue? Tell me, talk to me. We have to approach it that way. Even if they say BLM, from they want Israel gone, what is your problem? And they say, well, they have to get out. They have to get out of Palestine. What is your issue with it? What are you doing about it? Protesting is not doing anything. It's just whining. What are you doing about it? And we have to strip away and find out at the root cause what you're doing, because we're not doing this again. I feel like we're reliving history over again, and I'm pissed off about it. And no, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. I don't want to have another war, all this stuff. And people on the both sides are now talking about it. They have to calm down. Israel now is basically saying, no, we're going to keep on bombing and keep on getting rid of it and doing like that. They want to no, again, you have to evolve. You have to evolve as humanity. And again, I am not so convinced that Israel caused this to happen, because there are rumors of Hamas being funded by the IDF and the CIA to launch attacks because they want the conflict going.
Yeah, I mean, and there were reports in the Times of Israel that the Israelis were tipped off by the Egyptians a few days before October 7th, telling them, "Hey, we're getting chatter that something's coming. We don't know specifically what it is, but we're out of courtesy, we're telling you this is what we're hearing. You guys might want to step up your your defensive posture.
And
And
this goes to history. This goes to history. Just like when who is it? Churchill knew that Germans were going to bomb London, and they let it happen because if they didn't let it happen, they would know they broke the codes, right or wrong. It's a moment of history, a moment of humanity. What did we do? Uh, uh, Roosevelt knew that Japan was coming.
he'd gotten word
What
ahead of time. Yeah.
what let it happen? Again, 9/11. You never let it happen. Again, we don't know these things because we're not investigating, number one, but we're not expanding our minds. It's the same routine. It's war, conflict, rebuild, war, conflict, rebuild, war, conflict. It's the cycle of silliness, and we're not progressing.
Yep.
We're not progressing.
Yeah.
No flying cars, no advancements. We should be, again. We could have nuclear power plants all over. There is no nuclear waste. They've already figured it out. They're doing this at Argonne Labs in California. They're already recycling it. It's a zero. People, there's one thing people don't even understand. When they get petroleum out of the ground, it's not a fossil fuel. That's another lie. It's all natural. We use it for products. We can consume it. It's medicinal. You can use it. It's oil. It's the blood of the earth. Okay, it really is. And we have already engineered it so that we can use nearly 100% of it for different products and stuff like that. Just like Washington Carver did with the peanut. We figure out how to utilize all of the peanut, all of the oil, all of this. It's efficient. We become efficient to do things. They're doing it already. And then now they're going to stop it and then try and go another route where we have kids in the Congo or wherever getting cobalt for batteries. When these companies saying we're going to be all green, yet you can't fix your own device and you can't replace the batteries. You have to throw out another device every year. No, make it replaceable. They're not doing. It's all being hypocritical, and I'm done with the hypocrites.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it makes sense. Does it make sense?
And elections like the ones that are coming up tomorrow, which are local initiatives and local offices, are going to go a long way toward determining what kind of a people we are in the end. I mean, the off-year elections don't get nearly the attention that they should. We all focus on the presidential. We all focus on the big Senate race or the big congressional race, or the big governor's race, which, those are important. But your local city council, your local prosecuting attorney, your local sheriff, your local county commission, your local mayor, these offices are critical. I mean, there's a reason that George Soros puts money into district attorneys.
But here's the thing. We talked about this before offline, and I don't care about it being done now because, again, I'm all about full disclosure here. It's the truth. It used to be every 4 years we would take the temperature of the country, and then it would be every 2 when it went national. And then every year we have some elections all over the United States, but then we have contests, this and that. But now every single time you click a button, you're sending a vote out. You're making a decision. That data is being collected. People are seeing that data, and then they are using the algorithm to manipulate what you see, who you like. And again, it gets more segmented. So that's why we have more information, but it's tailor-made to what pleases you, and it gets you down to a certain only one rabbit hole of thinking, and you have to break out of it. You're trapped in the matrix, and I see that now. And the idea that I had is, and we talked about this yesterday, the idea that reviewing that data and giving real, cold, brutal facts, not the whole jargon. Be non-political, which is true. I'm apolitical now, basically, because again, I'm all about the individual. But again, having that done, because that's the most important thing. That's why every single election is important. Every single thing we do is important, and the most important thing, again, from my indifferent perspective, is to just be a loving human being. We have to get back. That has to be the core of each of us, and we're not doing that. We're all about me, but we don't know what we really want. And that's why, going back to the drug reference, people are doing drugs, people are drinking, people are getting AI girlfriends, people are being more isolated. The amount of people who are lonely in America has grown exponentially over the last 5 years. The amount of people who are self-deleting has grown, it's exploded. And again, it's not, and again, this is my conjecture that it's all part of the plan. There is somebody out there. Think about that. There's some like a Dr. Evil, but it's all about the green. There's too many people on the planet Earth. What would I do? Exactly everything what George Soros is doing. Who he's backing, what he touts, the wording they use about we need people to comply. We need people to get the jab. We need people to do certain things. No. So you have to be an individual. But again, I'm being an individual now, really. I've lost everything and I am on my healing path right now. And I'm healing a lot faster. There are things that are happening to me that are changing that I feel really good, but I'm still very weak. But I'm now going to live life to the fullest. It's the most important thing. And I'm glad to be here right now.
Oh, absolutely. And we're glad to have you here, my man. Glad to have you here because you bring a really good perspective. And if you just happen to be stopping by, my name is Brian Trippett. I'm the Front Porch Conservative. This is Ruben Christopher Haynes. We're doing a preview of tomorrow night's live stream election coverage. And we've talked about so far Kentucky. We've talked a little bit about Ohio. And for this, I might need Leanne's help if she's still out there in chat. Switching gears ever so slightly to the Commonwealth of Virginia. They don't have a governor's race up. They don't have a attorney general or a secretary of state, but their state legislature is up. And a lot of people are keeping an eye on Virginia for a lot of different reasons. And the Wall Street Journal ran an article just today. I'll see if I can. Ask the question, can Glenn Youngkin pull off another magic trick in Virginia? Which this race, or this set of races, intrigues me because I think the Republicans have control right now. And Leanne, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Republicans have control of the House of Delegates in Virginia. They don't have the state Senate, which, if you know anything about divided government, is a major pain in the rear end because you got a Republican governor, a Republican House of Delegates, and the Democrats control the state Senate. And going to be there's a bunch of key races, and I'll try and have them pull. Okay, I do have that correct. Leanne says yes. The Democrats do control the state Senate. So I'll try and get a bead tomorrow on what state house races to keep an eye on. But that's going to be another area of the country that's going to be very, very interesting. The Republicans apparently have a very small lead in the House, so they're trying desperately to hang on to that majority. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of interesting races around the country. There's another one, and I don't have anything pulled up on it, but Pennsylvania's got a state Supreme Court race. Scott Pressler, which any of you follow him on Twitter, has been going around trying to get people registered to vote. And why in the world people don't back up his efforts? I should say certain political parties don't back up his efforts more than what they do to get people registered. Because he takes a very unique approach, by the way. If you've never heard of Pressler, not only will he go into a town or an area and try to get people registered to vote, he will initiate community cleanup projects to try and make where he is a better place than when he found it. Which is pretty cool. You know, I think so. Small Time asked the question, would you be okay with Youngkin as a Trump Veep candidate? Depends on where he is on certain issues. And how loyal he wants to be to the America First agenda, I guess, is where I come down on it. I mean, some people have floated him as an alternative to DeSantis since DeSantis' campaign is just falling apart. I don't know, man. It's wild right now, absolutely wild. So
shit.
Matter.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think that who would be a good Trump Veep.
Well, I know who my pick is. If I had my way.
Yeah, I know. I have to look more into that because I just don't know that much about that about him.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I know Youngkin so far has been a very effective governor in Virginia, and Virginia's kind of a unique state. I shouldn't say kind of unique. It is. It's maybe the only state that I'm aware of that only has a one term for governor limit. You get 4 years. That's
Really?
it. Yeah. You cannot
Oh,
you cannot run for consecutive terms in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
but you
It
can
is
run
some
for. Can you run again after four
yeah.
years?
That's
Oh,
what
so 4 years and then you're out, and then you can 4 years later you can run again.
yeah. Matter of fact, that is what Terry McCullough tried to do in 2019. He had previously served as governor of Virginia. He sat out a term, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, what's his face?
But
Old black,
what's your
old
point? What's
blackface.
your opinion on that? Do you think it's one and done or two and done for elections and stuff like that?
I can see the wisdom of what the founders of the Virginia Constitution did when they put in a one-term limit. It makes sense because you don't have the time.
For the grift.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's right. That's who succeeded. Thank you. That's who succeeded. McCullough was Northam, the guy who got himself in trouble for blackface a few years ago. Yeah, he was a real interesting character, Ralph Northam. But yeah, McCullough served as governor. He was succeeded by Northam. McCullough tried to run again and ran into a buzzsaw in Youngkin, and Youngkin defeated him. And now, McCullough's just kind of out there doing his thing. But I mean, I can see the wisdom of having it as just one term.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're going to get anything of substance done, you kind of need at least a little bit of time. And depending on how you structure the laws of your state, you could prevent somebody from getting into the grift, even if they have 2 terms.
Yeah, but again, I think I really think it has to go. We have to go backwards. If I could do anything, create an AI or at least a program that can help me. Unlike this one bill unravels all of your dumb laws. Sign this, and then we go back to the Articles of Confederation. I wish we were back there because
Well,
again, yeah. But
no,
again,
go ahead.
no, I'm just saying because a lot of the things right now are like, are you serious? As I was seriously looking at the First and Second Amendment and the amendments and what they are, and I'm going, does no one get it? And it just blew my mind what they are. At the core, it's basically no. I'm just saying they're the 10 things that the government can't do to you. That's basically what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the 10 things they can't do to you. So everything in there is already, they cannot do that.
Yep.
So you go in there and say, well, they didn't mean this. No, the whole 10 are the things they can't do. That's the whole point of it. These are these are your divine rights. It's basically that's the misnomer of it, because it is the divine rights. When you think about it, they're all the divine rights, which is true. They're just basically saying, oh, these are the things we can't do because they were already given to you as soon as you had consciousness and sentience. That's the whole point. But again,
Yep.
People don't get that.
Yeah, absolutely true. I mean, if I had my way about it, I'd go back to the Constitutional Convention, and when they were writing down the words of the Constitution, and be like, should we put this phrase in? And I could hear some guy go, no, we don't need that. Everybody understands what it means. That's when I said, I'm go, no, you put it in. You put
Yeah,
that
but
in.
the way it's worded, the way that the way that they're worded too is also, it's more like, because the word I'm looking at them, because they're worded as followed, in my opinion. Because of this, we this is what this is. Because of this is the cause, this is the effect. That's what they're saying. Each is a cause and effect statement, which is very, very interesting, because that is basically the idea of the scientific principle of entropy, which I love.
Well, aside from your AI idea, Robert's all for the idea of bringing back tar and feather.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I ain't saying you're
Oh,
wrong, but
did you see
yes.
that poor kid? Off topic, that poor kid that they put on war paint for a soccer game, and they accused him of doing blackface.
What?
Yes,
Where was this?
on Twitter I saw it.
Oh, Lord
I know,
Almighty.
I know.
Was it like a high school football game or something, or
No,
a
like
soccer
a
game?
junior high, like junior. He's little kid's like 10 or 11 years old, kind of small kid, blackface soccer kid, war paint, and then it's all bullshit.
Oh,
See
goodness.
that again. Here's the thing: that story could be all bullshit in the sense that, but yeah, it's happened or it's out there, but it looks legitimate. But the idea it's basically to make people think that everything's racist or whatever, which it's crazy.
Oh my word.
You see it?
I'm trying
Oh,
to go through Twitter right now just to see if I find somebody who's got this story out there.
I got it's on mine. Hold on.
Okay, well, if you've got, throw me the link or something,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we'll definitely take a look at this. It's like, oh my word, but that's just
Oh,
insane.
it's on mine. I gotta go.
Oh, just insane. But yeah, there's one other race. While Ruben's looking that up, I'll go ahead and pull this, and it's down in to borrow a line from that group Sugarland. It's down in Mississippi, and it's up to no good. Um, Governor's race in Mississippi is turning heads this year. If Democrats lose this, they're in trouble. The bench is empty. One political science professor said of the Mississippi governor's race. Now, this one's kind of interesting because there's currently a Republican governor. Let me find his name real quick. Matt Reeves. No, I'm sorry, Tate Reeves. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Tate Reeves, the current governor of Mississippi. He's being challenged by a gentleman named Brandon Presley. And Democrats have thrown quite a bit of money into this race. I mean, recently I've read a report. They've thrown upwards of $1 million into it. And Reeves is a Republican incumbent who's having trouble this year. I mean, mostly of his own doing. He's been embroiled in a scandal having to do with misappropriation of public assistance funds. You might remember that story involving former quarterback Brett Favre. He's tied up in all that, and the Democrats think they have a shot at this one. So, it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that one as well as the night rolls on. Personally, I think Reeves is probably going to pull this out. I'll be shocked if the Democrats pick up this seat, this governor's seat. But it's another one around the country to keep an eye on. And by the way, folks, if you're watching this and you've got races that you want us to keep an eye on tomorrow evening as we keep this thing going, we'll start at about 6:45, and we'll go, as long as we feel we need to into the night. So, grab yourself some popcorn, pour yourself some drinks, whatever, and, we'll make it as fun as we can. We've got invitations out to the Clout Goblins. Our good buddies Cam and Crash so we'll see if they'll come on. We've got invitations out to Forest Mommy. We've got invitations out to Elizabeth Galusho, and you never know who else might drop in. So it's gonna be nice and casual. It's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow night. So this is just a taste of some of the races. But if you've got a race out there that you'd like us to keep an eye on as the night goes on, let us know. I mean, the glorious thing about the internet is it doesn't take long to get access to the vote tally. So, I mean, we can pull up a race, take a look at it. If you got some information about it, you can throw it to us. We'll be happy to look at it, Up in Connecticut says the following. I'll be down at my, oh, not a problem. Hey, do what you got to do. Have fun. And by the way, Ruben, did you hear about this story? What's going on with the Democrat mayor? Was it Bridgeport, Connecticut, or am I thinking of the wrong city? But no, there was a vote fraud case up there, and a judge
Oh, yeah,
ruled for a whole brand new election.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, "Ooh, that's interesting." And just now it's between two Democrat candidates, which kind of cracked me up.
Hence it's not national news. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, now it made a little more national news than you think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're being thoroughly tongue in cheek. Between two Dems. Yep. Business as usual.
Oh
my. So
Yes, they went from the funeral parlor to the I don't know, creating it. I don't know what they're doing. I just the fraud that's good, or people the fraud needs to be exposed.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Not just electoral fraud, all the fraud.
Hmm.
That's the one
Absolutely.
thing that I basically can say in my entire life has disappointed me. When I went to school, I left school because of the politics and bureaucracy internally at the school. And I was
Yeah.
very disenchanted with that. So that's why when I started my job at the business corporate, I was good until I found out that there's corruption there too. So that's why I decided to go as an independent contractor in '98, and that's where
Hmm.
I've been. So, and anytime, that's why I quit my job, because they said I mentioned the fact they wanted me to change some data, and it was not that it wasn't wrong. It was unethical to me, and I said no. And then they basically, well, it's a problem, and I said no. And to this day, there are people that tell me that you shouldn't have quit, and I went, why? Well, because of you need this, and I go, no, I don't need to have uh, uh the fact that I'm doing anything wrong. I'm going to atone for everything. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And I'm healing. It's a big redemption thing. I have to you know, do the right thing with my life.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, this is a little bit of a preview for everything tomorrow night. Um, yeah, here's some more information about that Connecticut thing. He was the incumbent mayor. Um, was went to prison for 7 years for racketeering while in office. Ran again and won. Is being primaried. Polling showed he was losing, so he decided to use the techniques used against GOP leaders against his primary opponent. Got caught. Oh wow! Just
Oh
like
yeah,
it was,
2000 mules.
2000
Yeah.
Mules. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew when I saw at least some of the stories in cursory.
Ow.
I was glancing at them from a cursory standpoint, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I mean, just even down to the video that they showed in a courtroom was just amazing to me. So, yeah, kind of wild, kind of
So
wild.
I don't know if I just thought I had a thought experiment question for you.
All right, go ahead.
If this was Germany,
Oh, great, we're going to the German question. Here we go.
what year are we in? What year do you think we are in?
Well, if you're asking me, let's just take it off the question of years and let's go to periods.
Okay.
If you're asking me what period we're in from the standpoint of,
Oh, okay.
I would argue we are post fire at the Reichstag
Okay.
and just before the consolidation of all political parties by
Okay.
a short little mustached man.
So I
You
was
know,
basically saying 1932.
yeah, I think we are. Yeah,
Oh
32.
shit!
Yeah, yeah. See,
No,
Ruben.
that's what popped in my head. That's what popped in my
Ru-
head. That's what I laugh because I know the punchline of my question already.
mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
why.
Yeah, I've often said I've
Oh
got
shit! Don't
this.
say that.
Yeah, this is the smartest audience on the internet, and
Well,
I thoroughly believe that.
here's the
Here's the
thing.
proof.
No, but here's the thing. If something terrible happens domestically, and then the what was it called? What's the thing called? World Series? No, it's World Series. What's the thing? Olympics.
Yeah, the
If it
Olympics.
if the next Olympics is a American extravaganza show, where is it? Where is it being held at?
I think it is being held. I want to say it's in Europe this year. I want to say it's Paris. I mean, I
Oh
could be
yeah,
dead wrong.
Paris,
I could be dead
Paris.
wrong on that.
I think it's I think it's Paris. I think it is Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then LA after that.
And then LA in 28. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So it
it's
is
LA
Paris.
is
Okay. Never
28.
mind. Well, because again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Twilight Zone because everything is manipulated. Because again, you just look, and I'm serious, it is manipulated. They're trying to push everything a certain way. It's crazy. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. I told you we got the smartest audience on the internet. Absolutely the smartest audience on the internet. Or they can Google faster than everybody else. I don't know which it is, but I'm going with smartest people on the internet.
Yeah, because again, basically like again, I'll be honest, and I said this to you yesterday, Brian. I told several people this. Black pill moment, January 6th, 2021.
Yeah, I agree.
That was it. That was it. That was it. I went, oh shit. And that's why I basically started the whole process of selling everything at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got sick, and then or basically, and then again, people can attribute to, or if you basically, let's say at worst, it was all in my head, and because of the fact I realized that we are all doomed, I went into a personal breakdown. Let's say that's what happened, even though I have this condition, but it's autoimmune, so maybe it was me that did it. Who knows? Because again, it's like my entire world collapsed. That's why I'm now basically I'm a man with nothing to lose, which is true. I really am that man with nothing to lose. So again, going back to the money, going back to the question that all men ask ourselves every single day. I'm thinking about the Roman Empire again.
Another man thinking about the Roman Empire, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There you
But
go.
here's what's funny. I basically said, like where I was, how I'm going, how it's going, the whole like timeline in my head. You pick a movie. I said, okay, well, let's pick Gladiator because we liked Gladiator as a movie. It's a really man's man movie. It says, where are you in that film? And my personal life somewhat mirrors that because again, I lost my entire family and everything and all of my stuff, and now I'm in the slave. I'm about to be in the slave portion right now. I have nothing. So that's where I am in my timeline. But what's good about that timeline? Sorry, I was about to say the most bad word in the world. What's good about it is because he came back, he survived, and we're all survivors. Everybody here is. Everyone in the fellowship, everyone that I've met is a survivor. That's the one thing. We're still here, proud as an American. So I'm a proud of the Americans, people I talked to over my entire lifetime, real Americans, people in the fellowship that have passion for America, but a passion for their own lives. That's the whole idea. It's not a passion for a cause, it's passion for life. We're dealing with a death cult here. They want no more carbon. They don't want you. They don't want us. They want, to save the planet. They were willing to, get circumcisions, not to have kids, to transition, to do all these things. They're anti-life. We have to be the light in the darkness. And that's why we're here doing this right now, because I believe in a better tomorrow. You're muted.
Sorry about that. No, the light and the darkness is definitely needed right now, and not just in the area of elections and campaigns and that sort of thing. I was just one of the things I said that in advertising this little live stream tonight is we talk at least take on some of the news of the day. And did you hear about the Crowder story?
Yes.
Okay, for those who are watching tonight and you maybe not have heard about this yet, Steven Crowder, who has a channel on Rumble and is the host of Louder with Crowder, allegedly got his hands on 3 pages of the Nashville Shooters Manifesto. Now, if you don't remember what we're talking about, back in, I believe it was March I believe, of this year, a young lady named Audrey Hale entered into a school in Nashville, Tennessee, Covenant School, and killed, I want to say, upwards of 6 students and 4 adults, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on the numbers, but went in, took weapons, and killed individuals at this Christian school. The Nashville Metro Police obtained copies or a copy of the shooter's diary.
Right.
Never would release it, never would put it out, in spite of the fact that they had been given FOIA requests, motions had been brought in courtrooms, etc. The decision was made not to release it. Well, somehow, Crowder claims he got his hands on 3 pages of it. And again, how he did it, whether they're authentic or not, that's up to him to determine. I'm just saying this is what is being told. The language because everybody, the narrative up until now has been, well, this is someone, raging out against trans hate, and they're fighting back against transphobia, and they took it too far, and they went, etc. If the contents of those pages are true, then that narrative is just blown all to thunder. And I'm going to put up this story from Breitbart and read just a little bit of this. Headlines: claimed pages from transgender Nashville shooter leaked. Bunch of little gay slur word with your white privilege, fuck you. Articles written by Alana Mastronego. I'm butchering the Italian pronunciation, so all you Italians out there, just give me some grace here. Transgender Nashville shooter Audrey Hale referred to her victims as crackers and gay slurs, who had white privilege, according to copies of her notes that are claimed to be authentic. Kill those kids, Hale, who believed she was male, wrote in her purported journal entry labeled February 3rd, 2023, quote, "Those crackers are going to private fancy schools with their fancy khakis and sports backpacks with their daddy's Mustangs and convertibles. Fuck you, little shits. I wish to shoot you weak-ass dicks with mop yellow hair," she added.
So are white people Jews now?
That's a good question, I guess.
Basically.
Yeah, the purported pages of Hale's manifesto were posted to social media by conservative YouTuber Steven Crowder. Want to kill those little white crackers, bunch of little gay slurs with your white privilege, fuck you, gay slurs. The riots continued. So, and Small Time Republic says perhaps a patriot with a Nashville. It could be. I mean, we don't know how Crowder got him. That's just it. Nobody knows.
On a personal note, I want to tell you what happened last night. I told you a little bit, but I want to quantify what happened.
Go ahead.
My muscles in my legs relaxed for the first time in I don't know how long, but I didn't know they were in spasm, because here's the thing. I go walking. I'm fine. I walk pretty normally, but it's slowly, because my muscles are very weak. But when people look at them, when they say, ladies like the legs because it's very muscular, right? But then somebody said, "Oh my God, it's in spasm. Are you okay?" And I said, "It's not in spasm. It's normal. See?" And I showed her, and it's tight. It doesn't hurt. You can hit it. It doesn't hurt, right? Whatever. So then 2 nights ago, it started to happen where something happened where the leg just went. It turned into jelly. It turned into jelly. Yeah, to me, like it's all loose. And I went, wait a minute, hold on here. My entire body was tight. That's why I had all these problems. The muscle was already tight for forever. And now it's loose, and it's so weird. And that's why it's helping me lose because I'm basically losing this weight by meditation, and it's work. It's coming off. So now the legs are just all loose. So there's a reason I'm doing all this to get healed up, but all that tension. So basically, for my the last 10 years now, probably, I was always like this, and I didn't even know I was tight, and then suddenly it happened where it just released by itself.
Wow.
I know, and my feet now are healing too, even faster. My body's transformed. No, it's transforming where it's very, very weird now, where I looked up here if you because I created my own diet, and the way I did it is I did it with chemistry per se. Is that I used vinegar and certain meats, and I fermented all my foods in advance. Then I put them all, I mixed them together with certain ratios, like being a chemical reaction, and I eat that, and now boom, I'm healing. My body's healing. It's crazy.
Very cool. Very, very
Wow.
cool. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just out of curiosity, for our audience members, how much weight have you actually lost?
225.
Wow. Wow. How much further do
And
you have to go to get to your goal?
well, my goals changed too. As a,
Okay.
my well, my think about it this way. My lowest weight as an adult, it was I say adult like living as the longest period as an adult is like 325.
Okay.
My average is 475. I ballooned to 650, and that's when I met you all. And then I started this weight loss journey, and I was like, what, 575.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I am 350. And then my goal became 199. And the last time I was 199, I was 10 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's like an impossible goal, but I'm going to do it. But now I have a vision of me at 170.
Okay.
And I see here, and this is where it gets kind of weird. I'm going to basically, this is where I want to like start the whole idea of a new business. I see myself being like, in the shape of Jason Statham,
You can
you
do
know,
it. You
and
can
that's
do it.
I see that now in my head, and basically, not doing what he did in the movies, but doing something in essence the same thing, going around as I basically going around and helping people around the world, or United States and stuff like that. That's what I'm, which is kind of like like being like Kane, Kung Fu,
Mm-hmm.
walking the planet. So I'm feeling good about how I'm feeling now, and it's like a long way to go, but I'm healing. I'm healing, and I've got right now again 350. I got a ways to go, and it's still hard to walk, but I'm pushing myself every day.
Cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for tonight as far as like previewing things going on for tomorrow and news items. So, um, we'll be on the air about 6:45 Eastern. The polls in Kentucky will close at 6 o'clock,
Right.
and the reason I'm not starting right at 6, there's no hard numbers that are coming in, so I want to give it a little bit of time. So probably by the time we go on live stream at 6:45, numbers are going to start rolling in, and we can monitor that. We can look at some other news items, talk about some stuff. Like I said, folks, if you got races out there across the country that be it in your area or nearby, you'd like us to just kind of keep an eye on, let us know. I mean, throw us something in chat, and we'll try and keep an eye on it. Because we're gonna bounce around from Virginia to
Yeah,
Mississippi.
put out your
Hmm.
you put out a tweet regarding that. Like what do you want to hear? Like people like like put a poll out, what or not a poll, but put out put
Sure.
down what your things are for election coverage tomorrow, and then what are the big things you're important you want to hear, all this stuff, because yeah, we'll cover it all. That's the most important thing, because again, we there's a star-studded cavalcade of people that will be in and out of the stream tomorrow, and then we want to basically be there to help navigate the idea. Because again, I love this. As I was a child, I love political theater, and now I'm going to basically take a very a standoffish point of view. I really am. I've never been. I'm not a party person. I'm more of a philosophical person. And let's see this happen. Let's enjoy this. But in the end, we want to make America great again, and that's not a political statement. It's all about us coming together, discussing, and that's why we love YouTube, this show here, and the possibilities for this year, this election, and beyond.
Well, we've already been given our first thing that needs to be monitored for tomorrow night. Leanne has weighed in and said they have no roosters in their city limits tomorrow. So, that's their town's biggest concern. So what do we got to do to get a Roosters restaurant in Leanne's town? That's what I want to know. So daggone it.
But does she want roost? Does she want
Well, is she pro
chickens?
Roosters or anti Roosters? That's my question.
Now I want to know.
Yeah,
No.
now we want now.
Now we
Inquiring minds want to know now. Absolutely. No, I mean, and Ruben brings up a really good point. Look, we're doing this for a number of different reasons, or I'm doing this for a number of different reasons. Ruben's doing it for a number of reasons. But the other part of this is there's no reason why this cannot be interactive. I mean,
Exactly. No, because here's the thing, because we talked about this. That's a really fast. It is, again, for me, because I'm looking to get married again. So, who knows, I may find my future wife out here in the election season of 2024.
Yeah, so friend, if you've got female friends of yours out there that would like to find a nice gentleman, suave, sophisticated, you know, actual roosters. Okay, actual roosters. Well, Robert. Sometimes I'm slow on the uptake. I'm just saying. And small time Republic does bring up a very valid point. Big rooster money could be a factor in the election. I am very sure. So there you go. But no, I mean, we want to make this. We want to make this fun for everybody. We want to make it interactive. And Ruben's right. We're going to have a slew of people coming in and out of the stream. And like I say, you never know who might drop in. I mean, there's going to be other people doing election live streams. For example, Rich Barris is going to have a really good one, from what I understand. And I just might take a peek at what he's doing while we're live streaming. I don't know. Real American's going to be really good. Red Eagle Politics, and I recommend all of them to you. I'm not trying to put down my competition, but we want to make this fun for everybody. So we'll start at 6:45 tomorrow night. We'll go as long as we feel we need to, or as long as it's appropriate. We're gonna have people popping in and out. Like I say, we're hoping to talk to Forrest Mommy and Elizabeth Galusho tomorrow night from their local city council races. So with that, Ruben, any last thoughts before we sign it off for the night?
No. That's the most important thing. That's basically here. This is basically like we're here to let you interact. It's the whole idea. You're going to have a lot of shows out there that give you an analysis of what's going on and have an opinion. There again, I'm looking at it from the proportion of what's going to be the best for America, and I know Brian has his ideas too, and there's a lot of great ideas that we're going to try to do and trying to integrate this, because again, we want coverage to be different. We want feedback. How can we improve it? What do you want to see? Because again, this interactive, because again, we want to basically build this channel up, get more subs, get more clicks, and then make sure that we can be a vital force. Because again, the only people who you should be concerned about yourselves, your family, those around you. And then the other things outside will work sums out if you do what's best for you and your own. So that's why we're here. And I hope that we have a great time and a happy 2024 for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently this rooster controversy is bigger than we all realize. So, I mean, Leanne's weighed in with, they've allowed chickens in town last election, but this ballot is getting roosters. Oh my God, this is rooster discrimination here. This is just awful. Yeah, and Robert has weighed in on this as well. I don't know about no more annoying than dogs barking, but yeah, we'll see. So on these humorous notes, folks, thanks for stopping by. My name is Brian Tripp, and I'm the Front Porch Conservative. This is Ruben Christopher Haynes. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 6:45, and like I say, it's kind of like the old Dean Martin variety show. You never know who's behind the door when you go to open it. So, be advised, anybody just might drop in. So, thanks a lot. Ruben, hang around for a second. We'll say some proper goodbyes. Thank you guys for such short notice, being willing to stop by. And you guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. As I try to bring this thing in for a landing. There we go. See you guys tomorrow.